Okay, welcome back again. You should have been practicing. You should be getting better and better with this. The more you practice, the more you have fun with it, the easier it will be for you to present and command attention. Now in this segment, I want to build on top of that. I'm going to talk about ambiguous pattern interrupts and the criteria question. The criteria is going to be in three parts when you want them to select you. So first, ambiguous pattern interrupt. It's where you just shift or switch words, and it creates a sense of trance, wonderment, what's going on. And so they're not critically thinking about what you're saying, and they're still listening to it. It would sound something like this: that maybe you're on the phone, or maybe you're door knocking, and you knock on the door, and the person opens up the door, and you said, "Hi, I'm here in the neighborhood. Maybe neighbor your told you about me. I'm the local real estate specialist, and I'm out here to help anyone that needs help with their real estate needs, if they're buying or selling." And so, hi, maybe neighbor your. So I said neighbor your instead of your neighbor. Wonderment, what did he just say? What? And then they're not tracking that anymore. After you continue talking, they're now hearing your message. A suspension, but they're now picking up your message at an unconscious, subconscious level of, I'm your local real estate specialist. I'm your local real estate specialist. I'm out here in the neighborhood to see if anyone needs any help, or just to introduce myself. Real estate specialist, and you can do the same thing over the phone. Hi, hi, this is Mike. Maybe neighbor your told you about me. I'm the real estate specialist, something like that. So neighbor your, or in Darren Brown's segment, at one point he said, I want you to bring to you, pay attention. You to bring to you, pay attention. It created that sense of suspension and trance. And so you can use that same phrase. I want you to bring to you, select me. Service, I'm here to help you. And then either whatever was said before or whatever was said after is more processed at an unconscious, subconscious level. So you can switch around. And again, people won't be thinking, hey, what did they say? That just what was just said. And it creates that suspension of almost like a trance state. So where they'll hear your message even more at an unconscious level, where you can maintain that priming effect, where you can add in that embedded command, that suggestion, or the embedded. So that is the verbal linguistic pattern interrupt. And now I'm going to go into the criteria question. And during the criteria question, I'm going to expand later on some key elements that you want to add into your criteria when you're answering it, when you're telling them about you being the ideal solution to help them. So the criteria is when you ask them about what's important to them about the agent, the real estate professional that they hire or select. Because maybe you ask them about the home, them about listing or why selling, and how soon, or home and what kind of property. And that's also important. When you ask somebody about, when someone is meeting with you and you're having a conversation about them wanting to buy a house, you want to find out why. Buying a house now, it's a great time to buy. What's important to you about buying a house now? Because you want to know their criteria, what's their motivation. In case they start to procrastinate, you can throw that back into the conversation. In case they say, well, I don't know, now's the right time to buy. And maybe their main motivation was because in their house, they want to get a bigger home, or they're going to relocate and they want to move somewhere closer to the new company or something like that. And so now you can say, well, you said you wanted, the wife is expecting, and now's the right time to buy. So just bring that in to remind them and motivate them. Same thing with listing. So why? What's important about now? And they may have told you, but then you can ask them some more questions. So what would happen if you don't? Or what's your concern about not selling or selling your home? So we'll find out what's motivating them and what's driving them. What are some key emotional factors involved? Seller may procrastinate. They may not clean up the house and you say, I'll do it soon or do it later. So you need to bring that motivation back into it of why you want to sell now. the time frame, what needs to be done, same thing with the buyer. So now the most important thing here is you're in the people business. So the real estate is the product. However, ultimately they're investing in you as a trusted advisor, as the resource to help them. So the criteria question is going to be broken up into three parts. The first is going to be what I call pacing, and it's to get more yeses and create that train of thought. And then the criteria question, and then a priming effect, the prime. Pace would be saying something that's pretty much true or undeniably true. So you can say something as general as, a question I have for you. I would imagine that an agent that's professional, that knows the market, that's caring is important to you, but what else is important to you? Ideal agent was sitting in front of you now, what kind of person would that be? So let's break this down. Pacing something that's true, yes, I want someone that's professional, someone that knows the market, someone that's caring, and nod your head yes at that time. So those are creating some yes, that's important to me. So it's creating that flow, that train of thought of yeses. And then now you ask, so what else is important to you? Because those are important. So it's leading them into saying, yes, that's important, which is implying that you offer that and you are that caring professional person. What else is important to you? And then quickly say, I mean, if the ideal person was sitting in front of you now, what kind of person would that be? And since you're sitting in front of them now, you're the ideal person sitting in front of them now. Maintain that train of thought and that focus and that thinking of this is the ideal person. And you're in front of them now. And so they're thinking, well, if the ideal person was in front of me now, and then projecting that onto you. What's important? I mean, what's important about that person? What kind of person would that be? And then listen to their answer. Because they may say, well, we want someone that's gets back to us on time or keeps us posted. And you want to ask what that means to them. So back to you on time. What do you mean by that? When you call or text or email me, and now you can start to have a conversation as if you're their agent. And that's also very critical and very powerful. You mean when you call me as if you're already working together, or text me, what do you mean by getting back to you on time? Within a day, 24 hours, or within that day? And then let them answer the question. And you can also even add another layer of working together and say, well, is there a certain time you don't want me to call you after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night or in the morning that you don't want me to text you or call you? And so now you're having conversations as if you're working together already. And then they listen to anything else that's important to them. Tell me some more about that. What do you mean about that? One might be timely. The other could be just somebody that really understands them. And so tell me some more. What do you mean about that? And let them answer, and then ask them, oh, what do you mean by that? Tell me some more. And so you want to get down to some core elements of the criteria so that you then, when you talk about, I'm going to sell your home or I'm going to help you buy a house, and I want to make sure you understand, I will call you back timely, in a timely manner. Within 24 hours, I'll text you. And as you mentioned, I won't call you after 9 o'clock, or I'll just text you after that time or something like that. So now you're feeding back, working with them, and how you are going to have the relationship with them based on their needs, based on what's important to them. And now they're seeing you differently than they would any other real estate agent. Because most don't ask this question. They just get information about the home and information about selling the house or buying the house, all the technical information. However, you want to remember that you're in the relationship with them. They want to have a connection with you and feel confident and reassured that this person will help them. And asking that question will reveal what's important to them so that you can feed it back to them and know what you need to do. Because once they reveal what's important to them, you want to be able to call them back on time, text them, whatever it is, so they have a reassurance that you're doing your job, or you really paid attention to them. And that way you start to get the referrals before buying the house or selling the house. You're actually doing the things that you said you're going to do, and that impresses them. They feel a good sense of acknowledgement, and this person really cares, they understand me, and they're doing what we talked about. So that's the criteria. Pay some truisms. You want someone professional, someone who knows the market, whatever it is that you feel comfortable saying. And then the criteria question, what else is important to you about the real estate agent that you select or choose? And then you go into the priming. I mean, if the ideal person was sitting in front of you now, what kind of person would that be? So those are the 3 elements. Easy to remember. It's just a matter of thinking about those 3 parts and then practicing that and rehearsing that and being able to use it naturally when you're in conversation. Most importantly, to actually use it, actually ask that question, because as I mentioned, most people don't ask that question, and it's critical to understand that, both to understand their needs, but also as important for them to see you and picture you and experience you being the ideal agent that's sitting in front of them now. Well, there's more to come. That's a lot of great information. And practice that, think about it, write it out, and have that exercise to write it out what you want to do so that when you ask this question, it comes out naturally and easily. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye now.